2.5 to 3 inches. All the downspouts are piped into it. All right, we're at the next house that we're going to be installing a drywell in. A drywell is not something you just easily put into a house. A drywell is actually basically the last option you have in drainage. You only put that in if you have no other options, and that's what happens here. This customer bought the house, and 2 weeks later it rained and this was completely saturated. We're here for an assessment. Tom's sinking. They just bought the house 2 weeks ago and they have a major water problem that the seller said they fixed. They put in 3 FloWells, which can handle about 50 gallons each, which obviously is doing nothing. How many feet is that? 80 feet.
Trying to get a handle on how much water this is.
I know. So right now Tom's measuring, and then he's going to try to calculate how much water is actually here. There was actually more here this morning. We got 2 inches of rain. 20 feet. So we got 2 inches of rain, and the water's gone down since he gave us a picture earlier.
Why they put a cap?
I know. See, this is a drywell, FloWell. They got 3 and they put a solid cap on it, which we don't understand. Got 3 inches deep in that area. What they did is they brought in a whole bunch of organic soil to raise this up. And organic soil is just like a sponge. 2.5 to 3 inches. And in this town, you cannot put it to the street. The street does not have any street sewers or any infrastructure that we can tie into. So the water must be contained on this property. The previous homeowner told them that they fixed everything by having a contractor come in and they put a FloWell in. If you don't know what a FloWell is, it is a little tiny baby drywell. But we are putting a 60-foot drywell from there all the way to here. So it's a rather large drywell, and it should really dry up this side yard. Gotta put the safety handle down. That's about enough for me. All right, we always lay down the chambers for the drywell ahead of time. And if you can see, Tom put a string line on a property line, and then from that string line measures 5 feet out, and that's where the chambers will start. And this chamber system is going to be about 60 feet long. And now Tom will just mark everything. And then we get to move all the chambers back out of the way. But this way, when he's digging, he knows exactly where he's going, exactly how wide it's supposed to be. No digging too short and no digging too long. So it works out nice.
So in a comment, somebody asked why we use these chambers instead of just using rock by itself. So first off, these chambers make it very easy to tie in plumbing and to do our, vent clean out observation port combination thing. The other thing is these things weigh about 20 pounds. You see the Dawn can easily move them around. So if I didn't use the chambers to get the same holding capacity in this drywell, I would have to put another 7 tons of stone in. So it's a matter of moving 20 pounds or moving 14,000 pounds to get the same holding capacity. And you don't have to use chambers. We used to use the plastic 55-gallon drums. They worked great. The advantage of these is that I can go more shallow, so I can put this in more houses, especially when they have a higher water table. There's plenty of people online that do this with just pipe, and that works too. Either way, it's a matter of trying to get the same holding capacity, whether you're using a chambered, an open void, or you're just using stone. That might be glued on, huh?
That would be so silly if they glued those on. Is it coming off? I think you got it.
I don't understand that.
That's a little strange. They put a solid cap in there, and then they put holes in it. Not very many either. So I'm really interested to see exactly what those FloWells look like that the previous homeowner just had put in. Tom's just setting up the laser right now. All right, so Tom has the laser to 0. That is at ground level at the top. Now, we want to go down 26 inches. So we bring this up. You see right here, this is 26 here. So we bring that right up. So if you can see that, 26, and we tighten it up. Then when I set it in the hole, we'll have our depth. You're too low. So right now Tom has dug down about 4 inches lower than we need to be. So as soon as we're at the right depth, he'll put his transceiver onto that bar on there, and then he'll have the depth, so I don't have to keep putting this in and checking on him. Right there. So now he has the teeth of his bucket right at the 26 mark, and he will put his, let me get that and bring it over. All right, so that's 0. The bottom of his teeth, that is minus 26. So then Tom puts his receiver on here, and that way, is it blinking? See, it blinks green. So as soon as his teeth hits at minus 26, he knows right where that is. So that's how he can get very consistent and get as close as minus 26 to hold 60 feet down. Can you give me some clay in this bucket?
Okay.
I'll bring one wheelbarrow down there and put it by the house. I just asked Tom to give me a couple buckets of clay by the house over there. I'll take you over there and show you. He has an area in the basement that's getting damp on the wall, and you can clearly see that the downspout is kind of, water is going right towards there. So I'm gonna put some clay next to the house. So I asked Tom to get me some clay. I'm gonna bring some over here. I don't know if you can see this. I just blew off the leaves, but that gutter right there comes out. He got it away from the house, but it comes right back over, and it's all low here, and it goes right into the house. And this is low right there. The other thing is, he has the gutter right there, goes all the way over to there and comes down. And the other part of the roof falls on there. We think there should be another gutter added. So in the future, we told him when he does anything else, he should put a gutter right there, get it away from the house. But I'm gonna put the clay along here and just try to stop the water from getting to the basement. And I have to keep checking to make sure he has his 3 feet. And right now he's at 3.6, so he's definitely wide enough.
And that measures 26 down?
Yeah. $27 now. Comes almost to the next FloWell, which, I don't know if you can see the amount of clay that's on top, and they don't have any inlets for the water to get into the little FloWells that they put in. Really don't know how they expected the water to get down here under the ground. That stone is from the small drywell they put in. And this customer's soil problem is not subsurface. It's only surface water.
We set that up and then we'll put our first drain in.
It's just a very slow and small system they put in here to handle such a large amount of water. That's kind of why it failed. But, you know, the owner was selling the house and they just needed to fix the problem.
So, like Dawn said, whenever anyone calls, first thing I do is have them send me pictures, and the second thing is I have them send me their address so I can pull a soil survey. I'll try to put a picture of this. But this says we hit sand down at 40 inches. It says it's sandy loam, but that is like pure nasty clay right there. I mean, you got this inch of soil that they brought in, and then this is a better soil, but this is still clay, and then this is, you know, good clay. You can see, and that's just elastic clay. So we're going to put the vertical drains in here, and I'm going to see if I can get down to that sand, which is supposed to be at 40 inches. And then the other thing is the soil survey tells me about where the water table is, and for this property says more than 80 inches. So I also have done other drywells in this area, so I know that's true. But like I said, we're gonna, if you put a drywell just in this stuff here, you would have to go much bigger because it's going to drain so slow. But if we can punch through and get down to that sandy stuff, it'll drain much quicker and work much better. So soil survey is important.
But Tom's going to make a series of these vertical drains. You've seen them in other videos, I'm sure.
You can see the color difference. It's definitely better.
Yeah, you can see the color difference. It's a lighter color. It's got more sand in it. Right, there's the FloWell right there. There's a good picture of it. What they do is they wrap it with fabric and put stone around it. Look about how big it is. And so they put like a little French drain here and a little French drain there, according to the pictures the homeowners gave us.
I could be strong, survive all on my own, but now I'm running out of hope. I need somebody else to save me from myself, a love too precious to let go. I've been searching for someone for all my life. I keep on wondering where you hide. Nobody knows. I've been waiting for someone to come around, but I keep on wondering where you hide. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, nobody knows. When I was a child, I thought I'll be alright, but futures can be full of lies. Yeah, it's never easy to find what you want, and if you should find it, don't dare to let go. If you hold on tight, promise you'll be alright. I've been searching for someone for all my life. I keep on wondering where you hide. Nobody knows. I've been waiting for someone to come around, but I keep on wondering where you hide. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Should I give it up and hope for better days ahead? Or should I keep on searching for the one I haven't met? Should I keep on waiting for you, baby? Tell me when. Yeah, baby, tell me when. I've been searching for someone for all my life. I keep on wondering where you hide. Nobody knows. I've been waiting for someone to come around.
Tom's just getting through a nice clay layer. And there you see the rocks. You see little pebbles.
Phew, that is some hard digging.
Yep. Looks like you got through another clay layer.
With lots of stones.
Yeah.
We got to the bank run. So our soil survey said that we hit down into the bank run between 40 and 58 inches. So our drywell is 26 inches, and then we just went down another 3 feet. So that was the point, was to make sure that we were down into the well-drained soil below, and we're popping these vertical drains in as we go, just to make sure this thing's going to work like a charm.
He's exactly 3 feet, so I gotta make sure he doesn't go in anymore. So now Tom's stockpiling the dirt over there that we need for the top. Looks very nice. You see all these rocks? Definitely into that bank run. See all the rocks? It is Saturday and we are done for the day. We'll be back Monday morning to put the stone in and the chambers. So here's a look at the trench. So we're at the stone yard getting stone for the job. Tom's on the scale, he'll get scaled in, loaded, and then it's my turn.
I know we only met just now, and I don't wanna freak you out, no. But baby, all I think about is you and me up in a tree, yeah. You whisper something in my ear, the only thing I wanna hear. Oh, you tell me that you think about us, K-I-S-S-I-N-G, yeah. I go and pay at the bar, you go and order a car. I might not give you my heart, but you can have the rest of me. Don't think twice, baby, sit tight, 'cause we gotta kill a vibe. Don't be shy, stay the whole night, 'cause we gotta kill a vibe, yeah. Your skin feels like the finest sheets, your lips are what I thought they'd be. Oh, I'm dreaming but I'm not asleep. It's you and me up in a tree, yeah. I'll do whatever you want, it's on the tip of your tongue.
Ooh, this might be enough for this one side. Nice. Electric scissors makes this that's nice, very easy. Let me get a new roll. Okay, we got a new roll here. And this is non-woven filter fabric. Tom went to get stone.
Get up the rest of me. Don't think twice, baby, sit tight, 'cause we gotta kill a vibe.
quick walk with you. Okay, there's a trench. The bottom's filled with stone, just a couple inches. You see here, I always mark on the fabric where you can't step or put the machine. That way there's no accidents. Over there's a soft spot also. Everywhere else is nice and solid. So here's a look at the trench. Look, I'm done with the fabric. Perfect timing. Tom's back. The stone place is really close to here. They loaded you on one side?
Hey, look, there's a different guy. He was a truck driver.
That doesn't look very good.
Trying not to die on the way back.
I gotta see that when it's untarped. Tom said he was dying on the way back. Holy cow. Okay, if you know anything about trucks and filling them, you don't load everything on one side.
Give you my heart, but you get up the rest of me. Don't think twice, baby, sit tight, 'cause we gotta kill a vibe. Don't be shy, stay the whole night, 'cause we gotta kill a vibe. Yeah. See the fireplace is good to go. Hear the love songs on the radio. All I wanted was to take you home, 'cause we gotta kill a vibe. Yeah. I'll do whatever you want. It's all good to pull you down. I might not give you my heart, but you get up the rest of me. Don't think twice, baby, sit tight, 'cause we gotta kill the vibe. Don't be shy, stay the whole night, 'cause we gotta kill a vibe. Yeah. See the fireplace is good to go. Hear the love songs on the radio. All I wanted was to take you home, 'cause we gotta kill a vibe. Yeah.
All right, Tom's gonna start putting stone down, the chamber systems in, and those are the inlets. Right now we have caps on them, so no stone gets in there and dirt when we grade. So Tom will start filling this in with rock. So tomorrow we're supposed to get 3 inches of snow, which is impossible since it's 50 degrees right now. But if it's not snow, it's going to be rain. So we want to get this filled up enough so when it rains, then it will be working nice and it won't fill in with dirt if we get a heavy rain. Tom is back. He just wanted to get the 4th load of stone so we can finish up putting stone in because it's going to snow tomorrow, they say, even though it's 50 degrees right now. They're saying we can get 5 inches of snow, which is ridiculous. But he's back. We're just going to finish putting all the stone in here and then we'll be back to finish this up once the snow or rain is gone. But at least it will be working, and we'll put temporary things for the downspouts so they would go in here. They'll just be temporary on top of the ground for now. just because the snow is coming. I think it's going to be rain, but either way, they need their downspouts put into here. We're not going to close it up. We're going to leave it open and then finish it up as soon as either the snow melts or the rain goes away and dries up a little. So let me put you on a tripod. We'll finish this up. All right, we're finished for today, and we got all the stone in. We left extra piles where we need it for when we come back. We put temporary downspouts in so the water would go into the dry well. We didn't get the grade yet because we can't do that until we close up the dry well. But as soon as it's done snowing or rain, whichever it does, then we'll be back. All right, see you then. Good morning, everybody. We are back on this dry well project. We had 2 little snowstorms, and now we have to put the downspouts into our system. We marked where the pipes are going, and they will empty right into this catch basin here, and all the leaves and debris will fall to the bottom, and as the water rises, the water will come out and go into our dry well system. Those are the other 2 downspouts. So we got to get the downspouts tied in. We have to, drill in the chambers to get the downspouts going into the chambers. Tom's getting the Mini off the trailer, and you will see that he has a crutch. He twisted his knee really good, so he kind of has to keep all the weight off of his knee for a while. So he's fine. He just has to keep the weight off, so the crutch is the easiest way to do that. So he's got to take it just a little bit easy today. But we're almost done with this project. All the hard work is done. There Tom is, on his little crutch. Had to call him Gimpy, or something like that. He just can't put a lot of weight on that knee yet. And all right, so we'll get to work and get this all cleaned up and finished.
So I'm going to demonstrate how we do manual slope on these lasers. This is an older laser. I've had this for quite a while. The newer ones, you can just punch in 1%, 2%, whatever you want, and it'll just go there. But these old ones, we do it manual. I mean, you can still buy this type and save a bunch of money. New slope laser, a good one, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. So we're going to keep using this a while longer. So the first thing we're going to do is we measure 8 feet away from here. So Dawn made a mark.
Right there.
So go ahead, put it on that spot. So that's level right there. Now
Level.
move the receiver down 1 inch.
Down or up?
Down 1 inch.
And this rod is nice. It has 1 inch marks.
Okay, so now this has arrows.
Here. One.
No, I can do it from here. I'm going to lower that. I'm holding the button. Now it starts going by itself.
Getting close. Right there.
There we go. Okay, so now this is sloped. Take it away so it's not beeping.
I like the
So
beeping noise.
This is 1 inch on 8 feet. That is a 1% slope. If we wanted 2%, then it would be 2 inches on 8 feet. But I have a different video where we show how to connect 2 points, where the beginning point and the end point, we dig down and then we connect them. And it's a little bit different procedure, but this is very quick and easy. Like I said, you measure 8 feet out, you level your rod, your grade rod, then you just move the receiver down 1 inch, and then we slope the laser by hitting these buttons here, And then that's it. Now we're all set. So I'm going to put my bucket on. My bucket has a mark on it at 8 inches. So all I got to do is dig down to that 8 inches and then put my receiver on, and then the laser will just get me that 1% slope all the way down. So, okay.
So when Tom starts digging here and he gets to our catch basin, he will have 1% slope to the catch basin. All right, so Tom's gonna start digging. And if you see this mark here, at the bottom of this mark, that is 8 inches. So that's how he can tell what 8 inches is. And that's what we do with our pipe. We put it 8 inches down. So he's gonna get to his 8 inches, and I'm gonna put the receiver on there. $18.5. Words in the back.
Okay.
What do I? Level.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
.94 to the outside. So I'll add 3 inches. In. Good. It's almost a full bubble. I'll just show you around before we start filling in the trench. We're about to get a bite to eat, but I'll show you this real quick. So here's the catch basin. The 3 white lines are the 3 downspouts. I still have to cut that 1 white pipe there, and you can see that they're lower. We do that on purpose when it's going into a dry well. The green discharge into the dry well is higher because we want all the debris to fall to the bottom. If the green one was at the bottom, the leaves would go to the bottom, and when it rains, the water from the downspouts go with such force, it would push it to the green pipe. but being on top, the stuff falls to the bottom. That way, when the water rises, it goes in there and everything else stays on the bottom. And then you can just open the top, clean out the bottom, and then you never get any debris inside the drywell. Looks so pretty. Right there? Now look out. We have stone in here. We're gonna put fabric. Tom's gonna put more stone over here. So there's holes in the bottom of this catch basin, which will go through the rock and then should go right into the dry well system and drain out pretty fast. So there's never any water left at the bottom. All the downspouts are piped into it, and then it will go right into the dry well. Gonna get some of this done on this end so Tom can start over here. We just had a whole bunch of rain and we are back and it is muddy. Ground a little frozen underneath, but it's thawed out on top, which makes just a whole bunch of mud. How easy is that?
You said this was going to be hard.
I did not say it was going to be hard. I think this is easier than when I drive it. Just like that. All the heavy stuff is loaded. You have to work smarter, not harder. Okay, one down.
8 to go.
8 to go. Right, we're on our last riser. I put a little mark with a magic marker, ground level. Pull it out. Then we cut it. I put the grate on it. And then we just stick a screw in. There we go, and just slide it right back in. We go into more detail on these on a previous video. So that's it. All the risers are cut down. Now I just have to go and just rake a little bit around them. All right, this project is finished for now. Everything's graded as best we could. It's kind of muddy right now. Underneath is just a little bit frozen, so only the top couple inches is thawed out. We had rain yesterday and the day before, so it's still kind of muddy. So we couldn't get it perfect, but this customer opted to wait for the soil and the seeding and straw until the April, when it's time to seed. Right now it's the end of February, so we have a good month to let this dry out. And there's the first downspout. It's graded pretty much. We'll have to do some final touching up when we come back in April, and then I can do a little maybe update video. But we cut the risers down. You can see there's the inlets. There is 9 of them going down this whole path. That's where all the water was. That will let the water into the chamber system really fast. And there's the catch basin. There's the second downspout and the third downspout. And we did add dirt over there and over there. We got some good clay there because he said he was getting water in the basement there. It was really low. And I think the water is coming right over the gutter going there. So now he said it was a little better after the rain, that it was much drier down the basement. And I'll do an update video in April when we do the seeding and straw, if you guys want to see it. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching this project. That's the ups and downs with doing drainage in the wintertime or any kind of landscaping work, that the weather is very fickle. One day it's 50 degrees, a couple days later it is in the 20s. But we're glad we completed this for now, and we'll be back. See you then.